Hello everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. This is a fourth video in our series of Biosphere Reserves and this will be the last video. Before this, we have uploaded 3 videos pertaining to the Biosphere Reserves, and before continuing from this video, I want you to watch all these 3 videos in order to have a holistic idea about what Biosphere Reserves are. Let's see what have we discussed in our previous videos. First thing that we saw in our first video was what are the biosphere reserves and how are they different from national parks and tiger reserves. Okay, how are they different? This is what we have discussed. And the next thing that we have discussed is the structure of biosphere reserves. If you remember, we have discussed something called as core area, buffer area, and transition area. What are these and what is permitted and what is prohibited in these areas have already been discussed in the first video. Next thing that we discussed in the first video was the functions of biosphere reserves. Why do we need biosphere reserves and what are its functions? And next thing that we have discussed is the biosphere reserves in South India, biosphere reserves in Central India. So after watching the 3 videos, you will be able to answer all these questions. Let's continue. Biosphere reserves in North India and Northeast India will be the topic of discussion. You already know there are 18 biosphere reserves in India. Out of 18, we have 12 biosphere reserves that are a part of Man and Biosphere Reserve concept of UNESCO. Okay, you all are aware of this. We have been discussing this particular data. Now focus more on the biosphere reserves in North and Northeast India. That is, first one, cold desert, which is in the state of Himachal Pradesh, Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve in the state of Uttarakhand, Kanchanjanga Biosphere Reserve in the state of Sikkim, Manas and Dibru Saikhowa in the state of Assam, Dihang Dibang Biosphere Reserve in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. These are the 6 biosphere reserves that we will be discussing in today's video. First one, cold desert biosphere reserve. Cold Desert Biosphere Reserve is a biosphere reserve located in the state of Himachal Pradesh and it is in the Western Himalayas. You all know the Himalayas is divided into Western Himalayas, Central Himalayas and the Purvanchal Hills, that is Eastern Himalayas. So this forms a part of Western Himalayas. Okay, and this is called cold desert because of 2 reasons. It has the status of cold desert biome because of 2 reasons. One is, as the name itself suggests, it is a ice covered area. It has no bare soil. It is an ice covered area, and along with this, it is situated at a greater altitude. It is situated at a greater altitude. Because of these 2 reasons, the cold desert biosphere reserve is called by the name cold desert, and that is the reason why it has a cold desert biome as such. The flora and fauna, okay, important flora and fauna is woolly hare, Tibetan gazelle, snow leopard, Himalayan black bear, Himalayan brown bear. Okay, these are some of the fauna present in the cold desert region. And see, this is the cold desert, which is extensively covered with ice and it is situated at the greater altitudes. Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserves. We have seen Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve in the state of Uttarakhand. Okay, it is in the state of Uttarakhand and it is also a national park. The national park was inscribed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in the year 1988. See, when we're talking about the World Heritage Sites, there are two types. One is natural and the other one is artificial. And in coming slides, I will also tell you which is a mixed site. We have something called as mixed site and we have only one mixed site in India. And which is that particular mixed site? I will tell you in a couple of minutes. The mammals the common mammals like Himalayan musk deer, mainland serow, Himalayan thar, snow leopard, Himalayan black bear and brown bear are also seen. So how do you remember these flora and fauna? This is a very tricky question that not many aspirants ask me. How do you remember every flora and fauna? See, you don't have to memorize. UPSC will not ask, will not demand you to memorize each and every flora and fauna. What you need to know is particular species for that matter. Particular species for that matter, like snow leopard or Himalayan black bear. You should know what will be the habitat of this particular important species. Okay, whether it will be a grassland, or will it be a plain, okay, or will it be a desert, or will it be a moist tropical evergreen forest. So what will be the habitat of these animals and trees? If you are aware of this, then for sure you will be able to eliminate some options and find the answer. That is how you can go about it. Next one would be Kanchanjanga Biosphere Reserve in the state of Sikkim. In the state of Sikkim, it borders Nepal to the west and Tibet and China to the northwest. This Biosphere Reserve is one of the highest ecosystems in the world. Remember this. Remember this particular statement. It is one of the highest. It is not the highest. It is one of the highest ecosystems in the world. It was inscribed as the UNESCO World Heritage Site list in 2016 under the category of Mixed Heritage Site in India. I have told you about natural, artificial, and we have one mixed site in India. And remember, this Kanchanjanga Biosphere Reserve is that mixed site in India. Snowfall is heavy. Obviously, it will be heavy because of the altitude during the winter months, and the monsoon showers occur from May to mid-October. Flora and fauna: musk deer, Indian leopard, snow leopard, Himalayan thar, sloth bear, Himalayan black bear, and red panda. I've already told you, just know the habitation of some of the important animals and you will be able to eliminate the options and get the answer. You can't memorize all the flora and fauna of these different biosphere reserves. Okay, it is the ecosystem that you have to target, or it is the region that you have to target. It is the climate and vegetation that you have to target. If you are aware of all these, then answering such type of questions will become easy. Next one is Manas Biosphere Reserve. We have discussed two biosphere reserves in the state of Assam. First one is Manas Biosphere Reserve. It is a foothill of Himalayas where the fine alluvial soil supports one of the richest biodiversity spots of the world. Remember this. It is situated along the plains. It is not situated along the mountains. It is situated along the plains, and because it is situated along the plains, fine alluvial deposits are found, and it has the richest biodiversity. This is in the state of Assam. It has an average altitude of 61 to 110 meters. This is very, very less when it compared to Himalayan biosphere reserves. The main vegetation types include alluvial grasslands, okay, dry deciduous, moist deciduous, and semi-evergreen forests. These are the different types of trees that are found. And remember, Manas is not just a biosphere reserve or a national park. It is whole lot apart from it. Manas is not just a national park or not just a biosphere reserve. It is a United Nations World Heritage Site under the category of mixed sites. It's also a tiger reserve. It's also an elephant reserve. It's also a biosphere reserve. It's also a national park. It's a wildlife sanctuary, and it is an important bird area. Two things that is important that you have to know is tiger reserve and important bird area. Okay, this is the location of Manas National Park. Okay, this is the state of Assam, and here you have Manas National Park. Remember this. Remember this Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, because that is something that we'll be studying now. Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, you have seen the location in the state of Assam. Here you can see Manas, here you can see Dibru-Saikhowa. If at all UPSC question asks you to arrange the biosphere reserves from south to north or north to south or east to west, then you need to know the location of each and every biosphere reserve. Here you can see Manas is towards the south, and the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park is towards the north of Manas Biosphere Reserve. Dibru-Saikhowa is a national park as well as a biosphere reserve and an important bird area. It was designated as the Biosphere Reserve in the year 1997. It is situated on the south bank of the river Narmada in the extreme east of the state of Assam in India. What UPSC can ask you here is the Manas or the Dibru-Saikhowa Biosphere Reserve, Dibru-Saikhowa Biosphere Reserve, is situated towards the east of Manas. Or it can also ask you, the Dibru-Saikhowa Biosphere Reserve is on the banks of river Brahmaputra. Is it correct or wrong? Is it correct or wrong? This will be the kind of statement that UPSC might ask you. The climate of Dibru-Saikhowa is tropical monsoon type because you will have the Bay of Bengal branch of the southwest monsoon hitting this particular area, which will result in the tropical monsoon type climate, and Dibru-Saikhowa is a tropical monsoon type climate with hot and wet summers. Understood? Next one. Dihang Dibang Biosphere Reserve. Where is Dihang Dibang Biosphere Reserve? You can see it here. Dihang Dibang Biosphere Reserve is in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. It is in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. And what are the protected areas under Dihang Dibang Biosphere Reserve? You have Mauling National Park, you have Dibang Wildlife Sanctuary. Similarly, under Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, we have discussed 5 protected areas. Okay, if you remember, try recalling it. If you don't remember, comment in the comment box that if you're not able to do it, then watch the video and then comment in the comment box which are these 5 protected areas under Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. That's all for today. I hope you have enjoyed the series of all 4 videos on the Biosphere Reserve. If you have any suggestions on which such a series or short videos can be made, you can please comment it in the comment box. Hope you have liked the video. For more such interesting content, please subscribe to Legacy IAS Academy. Have a nice day. Thank you.